Remember being a kid sitting in your pajamas on Saturday morning with a bowl of your favorite cereal, waiting for your favorite cartoons to come on? Or racing home after school to catch an afternoon cartoon before dinner? Here at Pop Goes Culture, we know exactly how that felt. That's why we've put together our picks for the top 10 classic cartoons of all time. These are just our favorites, so let us know your picks in the comments, and we may even do a future video about them. Number 10. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 4 ordinary turtles are exposed to a mysterious mutagen in the sewers beneath New York City, transforming them into pizza-loving teenage heroes. Together, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and Michelangelo become the legendary heroes in a half-shell. Splinter, a mutated rat, trains them in ninjutsu, and the turtles use their martial arts skills to fight crime and their evil nemesis, Shredder. They are aided by human sidekick April O'Neil, a brave reporter. First airing in 1987, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles soon became a phenomenon, resulting in their own toy line and a feature film released in 1990. Number 9. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Premiering in 1983, this filmation series was a spin-off of an already popular toy line. It follows the adventures of mild-mannered Prince Adam, who uses his sword to transform himself into a powerful hero called He-Man. And he still shockingly looks like Prince Adam, but shirtless. Armed with his sword and heroic battle cat, He-Man protects his home of Castle Grayskull from the evil Skeletor, a skeleton with muscles. Which didn't make much sense to me as a kid, and doesn't make much sense to me now, but as a kid, I went with it. It also spawned 2 feature films in 1987 and 2026 respectively. Number 8. Inspector Gadget. Premiering in 1983, this bumbling cyborg detective was voiced by Don Adams of Get Smart fame. Gadget was basically a human Swiss Army knife, who could become any gadget he wanted to. Gadget was deployed by the police department to protect the city from the agents of MAD, an evil organization led by the faceless, gravel-voiced Dr. Claw. Unfortunately, Gadget was incredibly inept, and it was his niece Penny and dog Brain who actually solved the cases, giving the clueless Gadget all the credit. A feature film was released in 1990. Number 7. The Smurfs. Premiering on NBC in 1981, it followed the adventures of a group of small blue people who live inside of mushrooms. And the less I say about that, the better. The Smurfs are peaceful and hard-working people, but are frequently terrorized by balding wizard Gargamel and his cat Azrael. The Smurfs were famous for their little blue hats and for their unique language, using Smurf as a verb. Initially, Smurfette was the only female Smurf, though later seasons would introduce other female Smurfs. The Smurfs' leader was the wise, white-bearded Papa Smurf, who taught the others his philosophy of kindness. Brainy was the glasses-wearing know-it-all of the group. The individual Smurfs' names were usually a reflection of their personality. Hefty, handy, clumsy, grouchy, chef, etc. You get the idea. Originally created by Belgian cartoonist Peyo, the Smurfs became a Saturday morning staple when kids and adults were enthralled by the little creatures. Number 6. The Jetsons. The Jetsons were about a family's adventures in the future. They lived in a futuristic home where everything was available at the push of a button. Robotic appliances, moving walkways, and flying cars were a part of their everyday lives. George Jetson worked for the Spacely Sprockets Company. Jane, his wife, was the homemaker. Daughter Judy was the bubbly teenager, and son Elroy was the precocious youngster. Astro was a lovable talking Great Dane, and there sure seemed to be a lot of those in cartoons in the early 70s. And Rosie was the sarcastic robotic housekeeper. The Jetsons' view of a hopeful future was likely one of the reasons for its popularity, a quaint idea that's comforting in our current turbulent world. Number 5. Popeye. Beginning as a newspaper comic strip in 1929, Popeye became a series of theatrical shorts in the 1930s, landing on TV in the 1950s, where the series would air in different versions throughout the next several decades. Popeye is a gravelly-voiced sailor with bulging forearms and anchor tattoos, a pipe, and a miraculous surge of superhuman strength whenever he eats canned spinach. Popeye spent a lot of time trying to rescue his beloved eccentric sweetheart Olive Oyl from some kind of evil, but usually it's caused by his arch-rival Bluto. In 1980, the show spawned a live-action feature film starring Robin Williams. Nintendo later licensed the Popeye characters from King's Feature Syndicate to create an arcade game. Ultimately, Nintendo lost the rights to use the Popeye brand. Instead of abandoning months of work and gameplay mechanics, they simply decided to tweak the characters, and Donkey Kong was born. So think about this, without Popeye, Mario probably would never have existed. Number 4. The Flintstones. Premiering in 1960, The Flintstones is an animated sitcom that follows the lives of two families, the Flintstones and the Rubbles, living in a prehistoric version of the Stone Age cleverly reimagined as the modern suburbs. Set in the town of Bedrock, the show takes its inspiration from the 1950s sitcom The Honeymooners. In Bedrock, vacuums are powered by tiny mammoths, lawnmowers are actually grazing reptiles, and cars are driven by the human foot. The main character is Fred Flintstone, a loud-tempered but lovable quarry worker with a weakness for get-rich-quick schemes. Whenever Fred gets excited, he shouts his trademark, "Yabba Dabba Doo!" Wilma Flintstone is Fred's level-headed, patient wife, who is sometimes nagging, but is often to protect Fred from his own childish nature. Barney Rubble is Fred's sweet, loyal best friend and next-door neighbor. Although Barney is somewhat dim-witted, he ultimately proves to be smarter than Fred, often knowing about the flaws in Fred's plans, though Fred seldom listens. Betty Rubble is Barney's supportive wife and Wilma's best friend. Betty is sweet and bubbly, encouraging her husband to stand up to Fred. Pebbles is Fred and Wilma's baby daughter, and Bam Bam is Barney and Betty's super strong baby boy. Fred's pet is a beloved, overexcited, dog-like pet dinosaur named Dino. Originally airing on ABC from 1960 to 1966, the show made television history as the first animated series to air in prime time. It inspired later adult-oriented animated shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy. A feature film was released in 1994. Number 3. The Super Friends. Based on DC Comics' The Justice League of America, the Super Friends protect Earth from mad scientists, supervillains, and alien threats, operating from their high-tech headquarters, the Hall of Justice. The core lineup features Superman, Batman and Robin, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. Whenever the trouble alert flashes, the heroes spring into action to battle villains and hand down life lessons. Being a superhero-loving kid, I never missed this one. The show aired on ABC Saturday mornings from 1973 to 1985. The first season was heavily restricted by network policies against cartoon violence. The team avoids traditional combat, instead focusing on problem solving. The heroes are joined by two ordinary teenagers, Wendy and Marvin, along with their pet, Wonder Dog, who's yet another Great Dane. They were added to cash in on the popularity of the Scooby-Doo characters. Over the years, Super Friends went through several different formats. The cast expanded to include heroes like Green Lantern, The Flash, Hawkman, Apache Chief, Black Vulcan, Samurai, and El Dorado. In Season 2, the original kids were swapped out for the Wonder Twins and their space monkey, Gleek. Season 3 introduced the unforgettable villains, the Legion of Doom. And in later seasons, Darkseid became the team's greatest enemy. Number 2, Scooby-Doo. Premiering in 1969, Scooby-Doo follows the group of 4 teenagers, and they're talking Great Dane Scooby-Doo. So he's the one that started this whole Great Dane craze. The group travels in a van called the Mystery Machine. They travel across country solving mysteries involving supernatural creatures, which are almost always unmasked as real people using disguises. Scooby-Doo is a lovable but cowardly dog who loves food and has a unique way of speaking. Shaggy is Scooby's best friend and fellow coward, who has an insatiable appetite. Velma is the brains of the group. Fred is the optimistic leader. And Daphne, well, she seems to get captured a lot. The franchise was created by Hanna-Barbera and is now owned by Warner Brothers. It has thrived for over 50 years with a feature film released in 2002. Number 1. The Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show. Saturday morning cartoons in the 70s and 80s came and went, but one constant was the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Show, and I think they are the greatest cartoons ever made. But these cartoons weren't new. They were, in fact, originally made by Warner Brothers in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. They began airing on CBS in 1969. The main attractions were Bugs Bunny's hilarious face-offs with his many helpless rivals, and Wile E. Coyote's endless attempts to catch the super-fast Roadrunner. The show also included shorts featuring Daffy Duck, Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd, Foghorn Leghorn, Pepe Le Pew, and Tweety and Sylvester. Although in hindsight, I don't know why it wasn't called the Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck Show, because Daffy Duck was arguably a bigger star than the Roadrunner, and was featured the most often, sometimes as an antagonist to Bugs. My favorite character and favorite Bugs rival was Yosemite Sam, the loudmouth mustachioed gunslinger. My favorite shorts included Hairway We Go, where Bugs joins Christopher Columbus's crew, Bunker Hill Bunny, which features Bugs defending his fort from Yosemite Sam as a Hessian, and Goldie Mouse and the Three Cats, a retelling of the Three Bears, with Sylvester trying to catch Goldie Mouse because his bratty son won't eat his porridge. But I think my all-time favorite is The Scarlet Pumpernickel, starring Daffy Duck as a swashbuckling swordsman. So, that's our list. What's yours? Tell us in the comments. But be nice, it's all for fun, and give us a like and subscribe if you'd like. Until next time, this is Mark from Pop Goes Culture reminding you that growing older is mandatory, but growing up is strictly optional.